Atomic Habits by James Clear is a self-help book focused on the power of small habits and how they compound over time to create significant changes in our lives. Clear presents strategies to help individuals build good habits and break bad ones, using concepts like habit stacking, environment design, and identity-based habits. Chapter 1: The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. In this chapter, Clear introduces the concept of atomic habits, which are tiny, consistent actions that lead to massive results over time. He explains that small improvements, when compounded, can lead to exponential progress. Clear uses the analogy of an aeroplane adjusting its course by just a few degrees. Over time, this small change can lead to a completely different destination. The key point is that success doesn't come from radical shifts but from consistently doing small things well. Clear emphasizes the importance of focusing on the process rather than results, and how changing our habits is not about reaching certain goals but about becoming the kind of person we want to be. Chapter 2: How Your Habits Shape Your Identity, and Vice Versa. Clear argues that the best way to change habits is by focusing on our identity. Instead of setting goals like, "I want to lose weight," we should aim to change our identity, such as, "I am a healthy person." This shift is powerful because habits that align with our identity are more likely to stick. Clear explains that habits are a reflection of our beliefs and that small actions reinforce our identity. This process works both ways: our habits shape who we are, and our identity shapes our habits. He introduces the concept of identity-based habits, which focuses on changing the way we see ourselves to create lasting behavioral change. Chapter 3: How to Build Better Habits in 4 Simple Steps. Clear breaks down habits into 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. These stages make up what he calls the habit loop. A cue triggers a craving, leading to a response, and then a reward reinforces the behavior. To create good habits and break bad ones, Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change. These are: 1. Make it obvious, cue; 2. Make it attractive, craving; 3. Make it easy, response; and 4. Make it satisfying, reward. He explains how tweaking each of these stages can either help us form new habits or eliminate bad ones by interrupting the loop. Chapter 4: The Man Who Didn't Look Right. In this chapter, Clear uses an example from the medical world to explain how we unconsciously pick up habits and how they become ingrained in us. He shares the story of a woman who felt something was wrong with her husband, despite all medical tests showing normal results. The lesson here is that we often adopt habits based on cues from our environment without even realizing it. Clear discusses the power of awareness in habit formation, explaining that becoming conscious of the cues around us is the first step to taking control of our behaviors. Chapter 5: The Best Way to Start a New Habit. This chapter focuses on habit stacking, a technique where you link a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you can add a new habit by doing a few push-ups right after brushing your teeth. Clear calls this technique habit stacking, and it makes forming new habits easier because you're building on something that's already part of your routine. The key is to find a habit that naturally fits with the one you already have, which makes the transition seamless and increases the likelihood of sticking with the new habit. Chapter 6: Motivation is Overrated, Environment Often Matters More. Clear argues that while motivation is important, the environment plays a much bigger role in shaping our habits. He explains how the physical spaces we inhabit and the people we surround ourselves with can significantly impact our behaviors. For example, if you want to eat healthier, putting fruits and vegetables in easy-to-reach places in your kitchen can increase the likelihood of eating them. Clear suggests that designing your environment to support good habits is one of the most effective ways to make lasting changes. Chapter 7: The Secret to Self-Control. In this chapter, Clear challenges the traditional view of self-control as the primary way to break bad habits. He explains that willpower is often unreliable, especially when we are tired or stressed. Instead, Clear advocates for designing your environment in a way that reduces exposure to temptations. By removing cues for bad habits from your environment, you make it easier to practice self-control. For example, if you want to cut down on social media use, turning off notifications or deleting the app can help reduce the temptation. Chapter 8: How to Make a Habit Inevitable and Make Bad Habits Impossible. Clear introduces the concept of commitment devices in this chapter. These are tools or strategies that lock you into future behaviors, making it harder to fall back into bad habits. For example, if you want to save more money, setting up an automatic transfer to your savings account can make it harder to spend that money impulsively. Clear also emphasizes the importance of creating barriers to bad habits. By making bad habits more difficult to engage in, such as by storing unhealthy food in hard-to-reach places, you reduce the chances of indulging in them. Chapter 9: The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. Clear explains how our social circles play a crucial role in habit formation. Humans are social creatures, and we tend to adopt the habits of those around us. Clear argues that surrounding yourself with people who have the habits you want can make it easier to develop those habits. For example, if you want to become more active, joining a fitness group can increase your chances of sticking to your workout routine. Social accountability and peer pressure can be powerful forces for both good and bad habits. Chapter 10: How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. In this chapter, Clear explains how to diagnose and address the root causes of bad habits. He suggests using the habit loop, cue, craving, response, reward, to analyze where things go wrong. For example, if you have a habit of snacking late at night, the cue might be boredom or stress, and the craving is for comfort or distraction. By addressing the underlying cause, such as finding healthier ways to cope with stress, you can break the habit. Clear emphasizes the importance of understanding the psychological triggers behind habits to effectively change them. Chapter 11: Walk slowly, but never backward. This chapter focuses on the idea of continuous improvement. Clear uses the Japanese concept of kaizen, which means continuous improvement, to explain how habits should be seen as a long-term process. He emphasizes that it's okay to make slow progress, as long as you're moving in the right direction. The key is to keep building on small wins and avoid backsliding. Even if you miss a day or two, getting back on track is what matters most. Chapter 12: The Truth About Talent, When Genes Matter and When They Don't. Clear discusses the role of genetics in habit formation and success. While some people may have a natural advantage in certain areas, such as athleticism or creativity, habits are still a crucial factor in determining long-term success. Clear explains that we should focus on finding habits that align with our natural strengths. For example, if you're naturally good at writing, building a habit around writing will be more sustainable than trying to force yourself into something that doesn't suit your strengths. Chapter 13: How to Stay Motivated in Life and Work. This chapter addresses how to stay motivated over the long term, especially when progress seems slow. Clear introduces the concept of the Goldilocks rule, which states that people are most motivated when they are working on tasks that are just on the edge of their current abilities. If a task is too easy, it becomes boring; if it's too hard, it becomes discouraging. The key is to find the sweet spot where the challenge is just right, which keeps us engaged and motivated. Chapter 14: How to Make Good Habits Unavoidable and Bad Habits Impossible. Clear revisits the idea of making good habits easy and bad habits hard. He suggests using habit contracts, where you make a formal agreement with yourself or others to stick to certain behaviors. For example, you could sign a contract with a friend to work out 3 times a week, and if you fail, there will be a penalty, like donating money to a cause you dislike. The point is to create external consequences for your actions, making it harder to break good habits. Conclusion: The secret to results that last. In the final chapter, Clear emphasizes that the real power of habits lies in their ability to compound over time. Small actions, repeated consistently, can lead to significant results. The secret to lasting success is not in making radical changes but in consistently improving by 1% each day. Clear leaves readers with the message that habits are the foundation of a meaningful life, and by mastering them, we can achieve our long-term goals and live according to our values. Summary. Atomic Habits explains how small, incremental habits can lead to remarkable transformations over time. By understanding how habits work, cue, craving, response, reward, designing your environment, and focusing on identity-based habits, you can build good habits and eliminate bad ones. Consistency and patience are the keys to lasting change, and the ultimate goal is to align your habits with your desired identity, leading to success in all areas of life.